the station right here on Sylvan, the Van Nuys station.
Yeah, I know what's that.
Dang. From then on, it got even more crazier, right? So,
All right, hold on. Welcome to another episode of Tallboy Sunday. Mike, today we got a very special guest. We got Chris from the OG Alien Podcast, right?
Alien OG Podcast.
Alien OG Podcast. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Okay, and you were telling us a sick ass story about how you got arrested.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're good, man. Like I was saying, you know, just be careful, guys, when you carry a strap, and for sake purposes, always carry your conceal and carry permit, no matter where you go, in case you are hot and loaded. You know, you don't want to get caught without it, because it's a long battle with the law when you go and do things that you didn't know you were doing wrong. You know, you're in your right. You know, you're protecting your assets or your family at the time. You know, and things they spiral out of control when things like that happen. You know.
And Hot and Loaded is also the name of your new porn coming out, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the name of the new porn that's coming out. Stay OnlyFans, baby.
No, I was playing. But if you had your permit on you, they still. But so you've never gone to the county. It ended at the Van Nuys.
No.
Holding.
No. It didn't end there. You know, they held me there for 4 days in this holding cell in Van Nuys. When they held me there, man, let me just tell you guys, man, you guys don't want to get locked up with a bunch of people in a cell. Sometimes you end up sharing bunk beds, you know, and it's like that's not cool, man. Imagine two people sharing one solid concrete bed, you know, and there's not enough space, you know, so now you're stuck sleeping on the floor because you don't want to share a bed.
Yeah.
But you know, definitely when the watch commander the following day, I was locked up I got locked up on a Friday, and I didn't see daylight till maybe Tuesday, Wednesday morning. And they made calls to the shop where I purchased the gun, and the person at the gun shop, which is Gun World, I don't even know what the hell, why, but they said to the cops that I stole the gun from the shop.
Oh, damn.
How do you steal I just want to know, how do you steal a gun from a shop when all the employees there are legitimately armed and their guns are loaded, live loads, live rounds, all axis? You steal something, you're pretty much dead, man.
Yeah.
You got to come in there with some pretty hard artillery, you know, big heavy hitter guns to take out the staff. And that to me was like, what the hell is going on with this? You know, why out of all days? And it so happened to be on a day when the Rams were playing San Francisco Giants. I don't know if it was because I was rooting for the Rams and the bad juju of the Giants came and got me. But
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the 49ers, not the Giants. I'm sorry, the 49ers.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. The IPA is really strong.
But all right. Then, so they say that you had stolen it, but I guess, like, when did they file a police report? Because you have had it for how long at that point?
I've had it. How long have I had it?
Yeah, at that point.
At that point, I've had the gun was with me since for 4 years already, man.
Oh, okay.
I had it for a long time already. I mean, this is not something that was new. You know, I had it in a safe. I took it out of my safe. I felt unsafe. At that time when, you know, I was being mistreated in the county. I was going through cancer, man. I had, you know, chemos. For those that don't know my story, I am a stage 4 colon cancer survivor.
Damn.
So, not in total remission yet, right? But it's getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And definitely the mistreatment there was big time, you know. I had to fight the case, you know. I literally had to fight. I didn't have any money to go after, you know, the state. It was the state literally versus me, you know. So I got one of those rinky-dink, you know.
The public defenders?
Yeah, the public defenders.
You know what? The public defenders, especially here in LA County, because we have a high rate of crime. What I hear is that the public defenders here are usually better than around the country.
They are,
because they go through so many cases, and a lot of these cases are pretty complicated. You know.
Yeah, of course.
And then, like, even if you don't have the money for a private attorney out here, like, you'll get pretty good defense.
You do. I mean, I thankfully was able to get the case dismissed finally. You
Well,
know,
when did this happen? This is happening recently.
this happened like last year, man.
Oh, okay. So
I was this is still fresh in my mind and still fresh in my girl's mind. You know, like that was messed up, especially when she was telling the cops that why are they stopping or why are they even stop us in the first place when we're outside of our building, and they told her, well, for domestic abuse, and she's telling the cops repeatedly, I'm not abused, you can check me, I have no marks. What's going on? Why are you guys harassing us? Or
because it was a different couple you said, right?
it was a different. It was a homeless couple that was arguing outside of our building.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, you can't help what's going on out there when it's really late at night. You know, I was coming home from a bar, and so happened I fit the description. Said the officer. You know, I fit the description. I'm like, well, holy hell, what the hell's going on here? I fit the description, and now we're racial profiling. You know, so it kind of sucked, right? And on the report, when the judge read the report, I was supposed pulled out of a red truck. I don't even own a red truck. I was mind blown at that. I'm like, and what I had on completely didn't even match the report. So I believe that's why they were.
Okay, so that's why they just threw it out.
They threw it out, but they made me suffer like months, man. I had to miss a lot of work time. You know, that hindered me big time, man. I was literally using all my California paid sick time, my vacation time, just to fight this case, man. It was something. It was definitely something.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. All right. So let's rewind just a little bit, and you know what? Congratulations on almost beating cancer.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
You want to say where you from, where'd you grow up, and who you are, and there's a brief description of you.
Well, for those that don't know me, I am Chris Hernandez. I am a native of Los Angeles. I was born in East Los Angeles and migrated per se here to the 818, and I've been here for. I'm 36 years old, so I've been here almost my whole entire life. You know, that's pretty much like a little bit about me on that aspect. You know.
There we go. All right, and then when did you get your diagnosis? And
I got my diagnosis in March of 2021.
Oh damn! So this isn't.
This is just recent. Yeah.
Okay.
This man, I got it during COVID.
Oh shit!
I got this during when COVID was fully out there. It was strong. It was going heavy.
You think the Rona gave it to you?
No.
No.
From what I understand, apparently I don't know what it is about Mexican culture, but my parents legitimately, or on my dad's side, my dad never told me that on his side of the family they have people with cancer. I wondered as to why one of my aunts died, 5 years ago.
Same thing.
No, she died of brain cancer.
Oh damn!
So his great grandma died of cancer, but I'm not sure what part of her body. We've had a lot of family members in our family, on my dad's side, that died from cancer. So I had no idea. So when I would go to my doctor checkups, of course, they ask you any history of so and so, cancer, diabetes, this and that. I would say no. I had no freaking clue. So of course they're not going to test you, right? They're not going to tell you, okay, you need to be tested. Obviously they don't, but with signs that I got, my body was just not feeling well. I wasn't going to the bathroom. I wasn't eating. My stomach was super bloated. It was like rock hard, right? And the diagnosis, I mean, like, what made me go to the hospital was I was at work, man, and it literally scared the shit out of me, bro. Like, legitimately the shit out of me, bro. I've never witnessed something so crazy when you go to the bathroom and all you see is blood.
Oh damn!
And you're like, what the hell's going on? Like, you get up and you see blood. You're like, you're panicking. But with signs that came, I was fatigued. My vision was blurred. I was constantly like not in the mood for anything. I couldn't eat anything. And I was wondering, if I'm not eating anything, why the hell am I not losing weight?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That's the one perk of cancer.
Yeah, that's the one perk of cancer. You get me? Like, I mean, I was like, dang, dude, why am I not losing any weight here? Oh, yeah, whatever, So, I took myself to the hospital, and on that same month of March, right? It was in the middle of the week, man, of the work week, man. I spazzed out about 4:30 in the morning because our time to go in was 4 a.m. We had a split shift.
Yeah.
So my time to go in was 4:30. By 4:45, I went to the restroom. I was panicking, dude. I told my supervisor, I'm out of here, man. I have an emergency personally. Take care of whatever you got to take care of. Spent 3 days in the hospital. No one can find out what the hell's wrong with me.
Damn, so they admitted you right there on the spot.
Oh, yeah, because as soon as you tell them that you're bleeding rectally,
Bleeding out of my ass.
Yeah, literally, I'm bleeding out of my fucking ass. You know, you're literally going in there, and how do you tell a bunch of nurses when half of the nurse staff at Kaiser is like more females than anything? Like your heartbeat is going like 1,000 miles a fucking minute, bro. You're like,
you gotta do what you gotta do. Man. Like,
you know, you're telling them this is going on. You know, they're running tests, they're drawing blood out of your arm, and they're like, well, the best thing that they can come up with is, oh shoot, well, you're anemic since you're bleeding. But I'm like, yeah, you don't fucking bleed through your ass, man. Like, you just don't fucking, like, that shit's not normal, dude. Like, how the hell does that even happen? You know, like, I'm not a girl, and I don't have a menstrual period. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, how the fuck? This is too fucking much of blood. Like, this isn't even solid waste, man. This is just fucking straight. You're liquiding, bro. You're just bleeding out. So they go, well, it could be that, you know, you tore something inside your intestine because maybe you're pushing too hard. So they weren't doing any tests correctly until I finally was like, no, dude, there's something literally wrong with me. I cannot I couldn't even sleep anymore, dude. I was zombie, dude. I would go to work not even knowing where the hell I was delirious already, man. I was losing sleep like mad, bro. Mad sleep. And I was like, I'm not leaving until there's a diagnosis.
Yeah.
So finally they brought in a specialist about the third day that I was there. And they still had me admitted, not even in a room, bro. You know, they had me admitted and still in the waiting rooms downstairs.
Yeah, like the ones where they split.
Yeah, they split you, right? Yeah. So you're downstairs and there's upstairs. Once you're admitted, you go upstairs. And when you're not admitted, you stay down there. So they literally called in a specialist and they said, okay, well, we need to run a colonoscopy now. And I'm like, oh, shit. I started hearing colonoscopy and I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, dude, what the hell? I'm like, I'm about to be freaking alien probed right now. Dude. I'm like, holy shit.
It's finally happening.
I'm like, dude, what's going to happen from here on out? I'm like, are you guys going to give me medicine or what's going to... You know, they're like, just relax. They gave me a jug about as big as that Hornitos bottle right there, right? And it's a jug to cleanse your body completely of any waste. What they want is a liquid clear waste.
Okay.
Clear. So they can go in there and check to see what is the problem. So they go in there and check, and the doctor at that time says, well, dang, this is a massive fucking growth. This thing was as big as the shot glass, man, like about that fucking big inside my intestine. Oh. And it was already protruding into my my bladder. So it was touching my bladder. That's why they staged it at a stage 4. Because once cancer touches other parts of your body, your stage goes up. If it stays in one place, it's more often curable than not, right?
Okay.
So if it's stage 1, 2, you're still, they don't make it sound as bad, right? You know? So I get the test done. You have to wait another day, grueling day, right, to get these fucking results, man. You're in the hospital. You're waiting for these results. The lady comes back, and I swear, man, this was like the most ruthless shit. And I firsthand, I laughed, man. I was like, shit.
You want to put the mic a little bit closer?
Yeah. There we go, man. Oh, there we go. I, for once, you know, like I definitely was laughing at the fact, like dang, this is. She walked in all gangster, right? She's like, yeah, man, it's cancer. Like, just like that, without even fucking giving me like, or just brace yourself, sit down. I was standing up, you know, because I was pacing back and forth in the room by myself. I was like, shit, dude, I'm going through this crap by myself. I'm like, I haven't been able to contact anybody. There's not great service at Kaiser, by the way. If you're in there, you're fucked, dude. You're in there by yourself pretty much if you're not in there with somebody, you know. But during the COVID times, you were literally in there by yourself.
Oh shit! Yeah, and I forget that. Yeah, this is COVID.
This is COVID,
so,
man. You go in by yourself. There's no one, you know. There's no one like mom, your wife, or anybody to calm you down and say it's all gonna be all right.
Yeah, no, it's so stupid what they did.
Yeah, it's insane, right? So she walks in all crazy gangster and she's like, well, I knew it. It's cancer. And I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah. Don't worry about it. We can get you into surgery tonight. We're going to have to cut you open and this and that. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on. I need to first, before going through surgery, I need to consult my work. I need to prepare everything to have this surgery. This isn't, you know, I'm going to have a surgery, this and that. You know, so they were gracious enough to give me 3 days to actually let my job know because they needed to operate right away, man. But they wanted to, before the operation, they wanted to know how advanced the cancer was. So when
Your
I
job?
say, yeah, they wanted to check not just anally anymore, right? Since it was touching the bladder, now they wanted to go into the bladder, and I was wondering, how the fuck are they gonna go into the bladder? Are they gonna go the same route they did for the colonoscopy? Nah, man, this thing goes straight into your front part. It's a camera that goes right into your front part, man. Shit, bro. Now, I can't even explain to you that feeling when they're shoving a microscopic camera down your fucking dick, bro. And that.
But it's a catheter, no? Same thing as a catheter?
It's like a catheter, but smaller than a catheter. But that catheter shoots water into your bladder, so it feels like you're pissing yourself.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, it was only 2 minutes, but it felt like an hour.
Dang.
And the doctor kept like squirting to like clear stuff in there, and he's like, oh, and on the side of you had a monitor. He's like, you can see what's going on inside. I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm not trying to see what the hell's going on.
No, but I'm so confused. Like, your job was giving the okay to give surgery on you, or
no? It was because I had to have the insurance go in. I had to, since I was still employed. Everything had to be.
So you had to contact like the EDD side.
Yes, I had to contact the EDD side. They had to place me on medical leave and get all that straightened out.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So that's
so instead of you getting a fat bill.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
I got you.
They wanted to run it through my insurance at work because I do have insurance through work. Thankfully, man. So all that got cleared up right away, and they were able to do the surgery. And it wasn't a surgery like the lady, the first lady, came to me and was like, "Well, we're gonna just fucking gut you open." I'm like, "Hell no, the fuck you're not." You know. So I mean. Thankfully, I had a really good doctor named Celeste Kang. Man, she's amazing. You know, she performed laparoscopic surgery, and they were able to get the
growth or
growth
the tumor
out, tumor out of my body, and you know they did it with the most minimal abrasions. You know.
Did you have to go to chemo after? Or?
Yeah, right away after you finish that, you go to chemo.
Yeah,
and they give you maybe like 2-day break because they have to prep you on what you're gonna feel, and it was nothing nice, right? And then they also told you, well, you have the risk because since it was touching your bladder and it is in your colon, you have the risk of getting a colostomy bag.
Damn.
And they can't connect your intestine anymore, so you would have to literally shit through a bag, through your stomach, and it's like, dude, I at that point, I think that's when it finally fucking hit me, man, and I was like, I couldn't, you know, I broke the hell down, dude.
I bet, dude.
It broke me, you know, and I've never been broken like that in my life, you know, and it humbled me, you know. I think before all this happened, I was a pretty bad person to people, but this humbled me in a way that I'm like, damn, dude, I got a second chance at life, and I'm like, fuck, I must be taking it for granted. So I mean, it totally changed my life completely 360. You know,
180. You mean? Because 360, you end up back where you were.
No, it completely changed me all the way, man.
Okay,
All the
so
way,
a
completely.
180.
Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
the full 180, man.
Yeah. 360. You're saying, like, you're still that guy now. All
No,
right.
no,
I got
no.
you. I got you. Uh-huh.
And it was, you know, my wife at the time, my kids, they couldn't comprehend what the heck was going on, right? Like,
Yeah, because you're at the hospital for.
man, dude, I
How,
was
how long did you spend in the hospital
in the
total?
hospital. I spent a week in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why you spend a week in the hospital is because you gotta learn how to walk again after that laparoscopic surgery, because it does feel like crazy. You gotta let your intestines fall back into place. It was
No, but total from like the time that you walked into the ER to the
oh
time
man, dude, I'd say about almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's still not too bad.
That's not too bad. That's not too
Yeah.
bad. But
I was
the
thinking
fact-
like 6 months.
no, not 6 months. Just 3. It was pretty quick, and I appreciate the fact that they worked. When you hear cancer, they work as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Now, I believe if you had some type of other surgery, like, you know, I think that would be a little bit more. You know, they would lack a little bit more. They would lack it a little bit longer, but definitely they were pretty quick, man. I was pretty astonished how Kaiser was able to pull that off in the blink of an eye, you know. So my family wasn't able to kind of comprehend. Like my mom, my dad, like they were distraught, man. Like everybody in my family was pretty much like, dang, dude, like it was something, man. You know, the chemo's no fun.
I bet.
You sit in a fucking room for more than 4 hours getting infused, you know, and
Is it like an IV?
it's an IV.
Oh, okay.
Well, some people get IVs and they get radiation at the same time.
Oh, damn.
So it's 2 types, and thankfully I was able to get the IV, and they wanted to first talk me into getting a PICC line. Now a PICC line runs from they put the line on your heart or near your heart to some vein that's connected there, and they can, instead of poking you every time you go, they just grab that PICC line and they run it through there all the time.
Okay.
I was like, heck no, that's traumatizing. I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it seems hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna sit there with a PICC line directly on my chest every freaking time. I'm like, nah, that's terrible. I'm like, I'd rather you guys poke me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I have tattoos and everything, but I have a fear of fucking needles, man.
Oh, okay,
And I'm like, you know, maybe like this, I'll get used to it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
it and you know, before like all the surgery happened and everything, they would prep you. They prepped you. They told you, you know, I couldn't drink cold water. I couldn't eat ceviche, which is my favorite thing to eat. Sushi.
So seafood, yeah.
Oh my God, you can't eat none of that during your chemo time. It's bad for you. You can't drink anything cold. You can't touch anything cold. You can't even turn on the air conditioning at home. Because,
shit.
Yeah. It literally,
Damn.
any air that hits you burns.
Damn.
Or cold that hits you burns. So I imagine this was during the summertime.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
I was drinking hot waters. I couldn't go out anywhere like with air conditioning. I couldn't even turn on the air conditioning in the fucking car because it was that bad. It was that fucking bad.
But, like, what if you have a heat stroke, dude? Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. This is why they gave me the time off. They gave me a full year to come back.
Oh, okay.
So during that year, I was literally a prisoner of 4 walls. You know?
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, dude, I was confined to just literally my apartment, restroom, back to the couch. I couldn't really go out anywhere because everything was bad. You got to stay away from bacterias. I have a dog, and I couldn't even take my dog to the restroom or pick up her poop because it's bad for you.
Oh, nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, no, nobody wants to do that, but definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, they restricted me from taking any dog activities. And when you would go, you literally rest a day, and no, 2 days. I'm sorry, 2 days, and then you'd go every third day to get chemo. For those 4 or 5 hours, sometimes, man, you come back, you knock out the whole fucking day, man. You don't see the next day till literally the next day, bro. You wake up, you're like, what the hell? How did I even knock out?
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because I forgot his name, but there was a college player that he played at Boston College. He played football. And he would go from chemo to his workouts. And then everybody that I've talked to that has had cancer or has had somebody with cancer, they're like, dude, they're you know,
Bro,
they're out, you know.
yes, they're. I mean, it's a total eye opener for everybody that has gone through that, and it changes your whole family completely. And I think it changed my whole family's perspective, and I was able to appreciate life a little bit more.
And then the lack of AC and the lack of ice cream too. Fuck.
I couldn't eat anything. What was I eating? And then when you get chemo, you're really not hungry. I was literally 100 and almost 100 pounds, bro. I lost a lot of weight. I was thin.
And that's why they encourage you to smoke weed, no?
Yes, during that time, I was heavily smoking, dude. I mean, I was big time every time. I was in pain, man. Everything I touched was pain. Everything I did was pain. You imagine having to wash your brush your teeth in the morning with hot water, bro. How the hell do you do that? Like, you have to brush it with
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it's cold and it feels good, right?
Yeah. And in the mornings, it feels delicious, bro, because you're waking up, you're brushing your teeth, and it's cold water. You're like, heck yeah, man. This is amazing, you know? And when you switch to hot water, now you're like, fuck. You can't even do agua tibia. You get me? Like, it will still mess with it messes with your pain levels, man. Everything hurt, bro.
That's terrible, dude. That's terrible. I'm sorry, but we're all happy that you're doing better now, right? Because now you're what, 98%, 99%?
I'm 98%. I got.
Yeah, obviously, because you got a beer in your hand. So
yeah, exactly. I hope my doctor doesn't see this, because my doctor's gonna be like, I saw you. I saw you, and you're over there fucking drinking.
Quite well over there.
Yeah, I know.
It's wellness beer.
Yeah, it's because doctors don't accept real medicine that comes in the form of a can.
Exactly. This is medicinal beer.
So on that note, let's cheers to our tasting beer today.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know if
let me swap beers real quick.
Yeah. All right. So today we are trying. It's called 747 Blonde.
Ooh,
this is brewed and canned by San Fernando Brewing Company.
Oh, this
out
is
in
nice.
San Fernando. Oh. I haven't had this one. This is new. So,
the 747 Blonde, really? Have you gone to the?
I've gone to San Fernando Brewery, but I've never tried this one.
Ooh, this one's good, man. This is my wife's favorite beer, actually. 747.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
So all right.
Other than that, the red rum is pretty good too, man. It's called red rum because spell it backwards when it's red rum, right? But it's murder if you reverse it. So
I remember 3-6 Mafia said that a while back. Yeah. All right. So
cheers, brother.
And yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you for being here.
No, thank you, guys.
All right, so that's not bad at all.
No, it's really not that bad.
Real smooth.
Yep.
Real smooth. A little flatter, but it goes with it.
Yeah.
But then again, it is a blonde, so it's supposed to be like that.
It's supposed to be like that. This one's really O'Melveny at San Fernando Brewery is really good too.
Yeah, O'Melveny Red.
Beer.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite
Yeah,
beers.
it's great. So yeah, San Fernando Brewing Company, try them out. Yep.
Heck yeah, man.
Okay, brother. And then again, we're happy that you're here.
Thank you guys for having me.
So when you were telling us the story about going outside to see like what was going on, I had the question in my mind. So that you've always been like sort of a paranoid person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. And then this is how the UFO thing like came about.
No, the whole UFO thing came about. Literally, I was a kid, man.
Oh shit.
I was literally, give or take, 11, 12 years old. And it was one of my last camping trips that I took with my dad and my family. Mm-hmm. And I remember this so vividly. We were at in Castaic.
Okay, Lake. So not too far from here.
Not too far from here. Mil Potreros is the camping site we visited. And we've been visiting that camping site for years, man. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about years. There is what's called a mirador, where you go up this mountain, right? Mm-hmm. And by the camping site. And it overlooks all Bakersfield. Beautiful fucking view. Really beautiful view at night, right? You
should check it out.
Yeah, check it out, man. Mil Potreros. It's a really crazy narrow road. If you're driving a truck, oh dude, your nerves are gonna be like at 1,000 miles an hour.
I'm good. And just remember, always push it up, because that one, I gotta replace that fucking mic stand.
I'll hold it if you want.
No, you don't have to hold it. Just remember that it does fall.
Let's see more.
My bad.
No, you're good. So at that moment in time, man, like I remember so vividly, man. We got to the camp. Our tradition was always to get there at night. Latest maybe 10 o'clock at night, right? And we start setting up. We start getting there, taking out all the stuff, the food, everything, man. Unloading the camping gear. And before we unload and before we start building the camping ground, we like to take a little view, the breathtaking view that oversees Bakersfield, man. That view, man. We all go up there as a family, and I kid you not, man. It was about 10 of us maybe up there at that mirador, including aunts, uncles, all the little kids that were my cousins, everyone that was there.
You get a big whiff of the cow shit too, or no?
Oh man, dude, you could smell it from miles away, bro. I mean, shit, man, that does not go away.
That's how I know I'm in Bakersfield. Like,
yeah, you're automatically right. Even though you're high up and you're miles and miles high up in the mountain, you can still smell the cow shit. But you're like, how's that even possible?
My bad. Go ahead.
And definitely, out of nowhere, man, we're staring at this mirador, man, and I'll never forget this shit, man. I drew it on one of my first episodes I did on the podcast. I had videos again, of the old podcast, but I drew a picture of what I saw that night on there, and I showed it to everybody as one of the first episodes that I did. Out of nowhere, we're about ready to wrap up the scenery, and you have this light come out of nowhere, dude, and it looked like a purple light, and then all of a sudden you see a massive I'm talking about a football field of a UFO come into frame, and no one, and I'm telling you, no one, man, when I tell this story, everybody looks at you and they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
You're fucking crazy, dude. I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna discredit a little kid, 11 years old, bro? You're gonna discredit me at 11 years old?
So, but what did it look like? You said a football field of.
It was a massive craft, man. It was coming out just like the light.
Oh, so you just saw a big light?
It was a big light, and then it materialized into a massive craft. And this massive craft had the colors of orange, purple, blue, just like that.
But like, was it square? Like,
no, it was circular. It was a circular. It was a freaking disc. It was literally at the bottom. It looked circular, and at the top was circular, and it had windows all around it.
Oh,
all around the thing. It looked like a fucking carousel.
Oh fuck!
Like, that's how I can explain. That's how I can pretty much like explain it. Like it was like a carousel.
Oh, let me take a sip of this beer.
Yeah. And as we were watching this in astonishment, man, I don't know, but as soon as it was like hovering over our heads for maybe I want to say 20 seconds, and then this thing literally like pulled gravity or space and time, and you can see how it pulled space and time, literally.
It's so big, right?
Oh.
And then my bad. Like, is it just you seeing this or
no? Everybody. It's a group of people that witnessed this, and at this time, it was not that. You don't have cell phone service up there.
What year is this?
This was, man, dude. This was like late 90s already, man.
So 97, 98.
98, yes.
Yeah.
And mind you, cell phone grade. A lot of these cell phones like Nokia, we had that.
Yeah, there was no cameras.
Exactly. It was just a freaking phone. How do you record that? Yeah. There's no way you can record that. There's nothing you can possibly do to record that other than it stays in your mental, right?
Yeah, and like right now, yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah.
That's all we took from that day. And as it finally shot out of frame, went back in, we assumed space, right? We're like, holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
This thing came so close, man. I kid you not, man. It was maybe 5-10 feet from above us.
Damn, so
this
super
thing was
close.
Close, man. This thing was so close you could feel the air.
Were you worried that it was gonna like come down on you guys, or?
We were all worried. Like my mom and my dad were like, let's start going down. This is really creepy and really scary, because we thought we were all gonna get fucking abducted that night, It flew right over all of our heads. It was incredible to actually even feel the wind of the UFO.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was constantly like it was spinning in the middle, man. It was literally just like spinning just in the middle. Just in the middle, and you could see like these fucking
So the edges of it were still, but the middle was.
the middle was spinning. Literally, the middle was spinning, and it was spinning at such a fast rate, man. It was incredible. And when it finally took off, we were finally making our way back down from the view, and legitimately, as we were heading back down, this thing pops back into frame as we were coming back
So
down.
you see
The
it in
mountain.
the distance.
Yeah, it was in the distance. Now it was a little bit higher. I'd say now it was maybe now 40, 50 feet up in the air. So it was a little bit higher than normally. And all of a sudden, from the bottom of it, it let out a flash. We were all standing in right under it when it happened, right? And it let out a flash. And my mom says, forever will she say, nos tomaron una foto. These aliens took a picture of us.
Okay.
That's what it looked like. It looked like a camera, a camera flash.
In my mind, I was like, "Oh, did somebody coming down out of this?" Or,
No. It was just a camera flash, and then it just took off again. And
Crazy.
from then on, that's when I was like, "Dang, this literally catches my attention." About maybe a year later, I'm 12 now. During this time, we were all gathered at my uncle's house here in the valley, and during a Mike Tyson fight, those everybody wanted to see a Mike Tyson fight, man. So my uncle had ordered a Mike Tyson fight. He was excited, he bought a brand new house. He invited us all over for the fight. Literally, at the end of this fight, man, we were all getting ready to go home. We were all gathered outside again. This was about maybe 5-6 people this time, not as much people as normal as the first sighting that I had, but this one was and this one stuck with me a lot as well because I've never seen something like this. I thought it was a freaking video game being played in the sky, dude. Literally, it looked like
a projector.
Yeah, it looked like a projector. Exactly, it looked like something was being projected on this on in our sky, right? So we're coming now. We're saying bye to my aunt and uncles. My cousins are outside. I'm outside with my cousins. We're playing. And out of nowhere, my dad and my uncle are like, mira para arriba. We look up, right? We're like, oh, what the hell is going on? We're all looking up at this point. I kid you not, man. There's 2 UFOs going up and down like this, right?
But like,
They materialized. And it was so far away, but it looked like a cylinder shape. These were cylinders.
okay, so you saw
2 of them.
It wasn't just lights in the
No,
sky.
it wasn't. It was a solid white light.
Okay.
Solid white light. And they were both going in a maneuver like this, up and down, up and down. And out of nowhere, they started shooting beams, red beams, out of the UFOs. Boom. They were missing. It was like they were playing chicken with each other. That's what I recollect, right? Out of nowhere, finally one hits the other. And the one on the left side hit the one on the right side, and it was coming down and crashing, burning. It turned into a ball of fire. And this thing was going down with it to try to pick it back up. And it was succeeding until out of nowhere, we hear Black Hawk helicopters coming. These helicopters are massive. They're very stealthy at night. When you do hear them, they're not like your regular helicopters. You hear them and it sounds like fucking war outside they're
like if you've ever driven by Camp Pendleton, you'll hear them.
exactly
Yeah.
just like that, man, and it's loud as hell. But you can't see it, right? This was late at night, and we're looking up and we see this blacked out helicopter flying to the scene where this craft had crashed. It crashed in the valley. Where did it crash? There was no reports. Where was it crashed? There was no reports on that. What the hell happened? I don't know. But I've never seen. I believe, in my honest opinion, I believe I saw 2 UFOs literally having a battle with each other in our faces, and there was witnesses. How do you explain that to people, And how do you go about it and explain it to people? And I would go to school and I tell people, and automatically you become that freaking loner kid because no one wants to talk to you because now you look crazy, right? Now everybody's like, this guy's fucking It's crazy.
Yeah, especially in the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah, like nah. Yeah.
Exactly, man. Everybody just wants to like. I mean, being a teenager back in the day was not as easy as I don't know how school is nowadays for some teenagers. You know, I have teenage daughters, and they tell me that they had a great experience. And to me, it's not so much. You know, because I was always discredited for a lot of the shit I would say, and nobody believed it. And I was always fascinated by weird phenomenon happening.
Yeah, don't try like me and Omar are all into it, right, Omar? Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, we've been looking for somebody just like this.
Oh man, dude, I love this, and my wife doesn't like it when I go to like gatherings and I start talking about it. She's like, "Oh,
There's
shit,
gatherings?
this again?" Well, when I have gatherings with her family, parties and stuff
Oh,
like that,
okay.
I start talking with her.
I was about to say, fuck,
They're like,
there's a
"Oh shit!"
club?
You're like, "Oh, they got that." No, there is. Believe it or not, there is a CE5. It's a group that gets together here in California, and they go together.
Oh
in the
no,
woods.
like I'm sure like that's massive. Like, do you remember when they were threatening to rush Area 51?
Yes.
Yeah, like the government actually got scared because I don't know, like something crazy, like 100,000 people had signed on to rushing Area 51. But I think the mistake that they made, that they said that like I don't know the exact dates, but let's say they said in July, and the raid didn't happen till October. So by October, everybody had like it burned out in your mind.
Exactly, bro. And okay, per se, you were trying to raid Area 51. Let's be realistic, man. They made so many. They made a meme out of this on Saturday
Yeah,
Night
we want
Live.
to see. We want to see them aliens.
Yeah,
DEM aliens.
They literally made fun of all the people that were trying to raid Area 51.
Yeah, because at the end of it, like I think like 80 people showed up.
Yeah, only 80 people showed up, right?
Or I don't know the exact amount, but it was not 100,000.
It wasn't that many people. It was literally just a handful of people that showed up. Were they gonna storm the fucking the Area 51? No, they were not. Because imagine you trying to raid a military base.
Oh, dude.
There is so many freaking sensors in the mountains. They even have sensors that pick up your scent. How does that even happen? They pick up human scent.
Yeah, they got they have all the tech.
All the damn tech.
Yeah.
The mountains that you think are mountains, they may not even be mountains. They may be some type of, it looks like rocks, and there's people sitting right in front of you that you don't even see.
Yeah, there's been reports of like Nevada hikers going out there and hiking a little too deep into where they're not supposed to, and they're never seen again. Yeah, but not because of aliens. The U.S. government is holding them. Holding them
hostage. Not hostage, but they hold them there at the base. They have a jail inside the base.
Yeah, and then like if you don't know, I think it's something crazy. Like 70% of the state of Nevada is owned by the U.S. government, and you're not allowed to go in that 70%.
Exactly. You cannot. You cannot.
They say because of nuclear testing, but they're hiding something, obviously.
Well, in reports,
my bad, because it's not only Area 51. There's a few different ones where the Janet flights go to.
Yes. And for those people that don't know what Janet is, it's just another terminal. It has its meaning. It's just an unidentified terminal, something like that.
No, so Janet flights. Think of Southwest, American Airlines, United. Janet flights are airplanes specifically for U.S. government contractors and workers that go into the restricted areas.
Yes.
And no other airplane go in there except for the Janet flights.
Except for the Janets.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen them in Vegas, it's a white airplane with a red stripe right across it.
I think it says Janet.
And it says Janet. It really does. It literally blasted. Now, if you go and ask people, what's that plane? At an airport, what are you talking about?
What? No,
they don't know what the hell you're talking about. They don't know. That plane flies directly from the airport there in Vegas to Area 51, where then they take a bus to Area 51 because they land on the strip, right? They don't land directly at Area 51.
Yeah,
they land away from it, right? And then they take a white bus directly to Area 51 where they check people in and stuff like that. So this plane is real. This plane is 100% real.
The U.S. government denied it for a long time.
Oh, they still do. They don't.
Oh, they do.
They still fucking do. They still do. No matter what the case is, they will still deny it. And the reason they still deny it is because so
National
many
security.
national security issues, and not just national security issues, but they don't want other people going down a rabbit hole which they don't understand. So they're always gonna deny.
Yeah, because I believe Bob Lazar, and
Bob Lazar, man.
he's probably number one. Like there's other people that have come up with stories that turn out to be like not all the way true, but semi true. But I don't want to waste too much time. But Bob Lazar is the main one.
I love Bob Lazar, man.
Do you want to explain who Bob Lazar is real fast?
Oh man, Bob Lazar, for those that don't know, man, he is the first whistleblower that came forward in a news station with George Knapp. And he gave him the story about how they're holding alien tech at Area 51, an area called S4. And at this S4, they're holding, and according to him, 9 unidentified craft, recovered craft. And this guy was trying to reverse engineer how to fly a UFO. And from his description, they got as far as knowing what element they use, which is now on the periodic table of science, element 115.
Yeah, and what's crazy that element 115, he knew about it. It was like at least 10 years before it actually became official.
Exactly.
So that I think that's what gives him the most credibility.
Exactly. Now, everybody was trying to discredit him and call him crazy, right? Because what's the government's top priority is make sure that you don't exist.
Yep.
If you've ever seen the Men in Black movie, that's a perfect example when Will Smith goes through the transition of being known as just J. What's to say that Bob Lazar wasn't known as just B?
Yeah.
Or L for Lazar.
And what's crazy about his case, and what makes me believe it even more, is that the government still fucks with him. They just did a raid on him like a couple years ago, not too long ago, and for having, because I guess he owns like a fireworks laboratory, and then they raided it because he had like, I don't know what he had what they're looking for, but they didn't find it. But he says it's just to fuck with him.
They do it to mess with him, and this is why he took aid with Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp.
Yeah, Jeremy Corbell is a documentarian, and then George Knapp is a famous news reporter from Vegas.
And you cannot, in Jeremy Corbell's words, is when you're with George Knapp or a news reporter, you cannot really mess with news reporter because they're simply just reporting facts, right?
Yeah, because they really vet their stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like you go to Mexico or any part of the world where you have cartels and you say something, they automatically kill you. There's no jurisdiction in any other part of the world than here. Here you're protected. You get me? You're protected.
Yeah, if you're a journalist, you're protected. And then just real quick, like if you're interested in looking at the Bob Lazar story, you can just type in his name on Google, or you can watch the Rogan episode. George Rogan had like a 2-hour podcast with him, and he explains the whole thing. It's a crazy story. Please go check it out.
Yes, please do. He does it with Jeremy Corbell, and George Knapp is present as well.
Yep.
Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp were there when they opened up this whole alien whistleblower with David Grush and all the other ones that came forward. And today, as of today, believe it or not, the Vatican released a statement. They had a meeting, man. The Vatican actually sat down and expressed to the world, yes, we do have divine entities in our world, alien, paranormal. So they're teaching us how to go about it if we do see them. And the Vatican, the person that was speaking for the Vatican was saying, you got to treat them be prudent with them. And prudent meaning you got to embrace them. They said embrace them. This cardinal said embrace them. They're anything paranormal or unexplained phenomenon or other beings from other worlds, they're pretty much sealing the deal and telling you, yes, this does exist.
Yeah, and the Vatican has a vault for a reason.
They have the vault. The Vatican is responsible for taking a lot of Nikola Tesla's inventions. They have a lot of his inventions down there. And one of the most famous inventions that the Vatican holds, and not just invention, this is something that is groundbreaking. They have what's called the chronovisor. and the chronovisor pretty much gives you a glimpse into the past.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yes. I have a reel on my podcast about the chronovisor, and it shows a snippet of how pyramids back then were being built. And a lot of the people don't understand that in those times during when the pyramids were around, a lot of the beings that were here were not human. They were you get me? You get what I'm saying? Like when you see the hieroglyphics of these ancient people that have elongated heads, or they look different, or they have
beak.
there you go. They're actually humanoids. They're actually described as humanoids, and this people thought that they were wearing like this flashy costume, right? Like, where the fuck do you get these costumes, and why would there was not even such thing as costumes back then? Like maybe
that was their actual face.
It was their actual face.
Yeah, and you know what? Just before we get more into that, because we're going into a conspiracy aisle right now. This is the Tall Boy Sunday promise. We will not fact check one thing here. We do not care. We just want to hear stuff. Right, Chris?
Exactly. Again, for those that want to go down the rabbit hole, again, don't hold us responsible. I don't have a PhD in this. I'm not a ufologist. I'm not a scientist. I don't study this. This is just simply what has been put out there as public knowledge.
Yeah. And then, like you say, that you can go sue Mr. Billy Carson. And look him up if you haven't seen him. That guy is amazing.
Yeah, Billy Carson speaks
and what do you think about him, dude?
Billy Carson is amazing, man. I really do appreciate what he brings to the table, man. I mean, he gets deep into parallel universes. He gets deep into Anunnakis. He gets deep into a lot of things, man. And like my boy Mike said right here, if you guys want to go ahead and directly reach Billy Carson, go ahead and do so and send them a DM.
Billy Carson is a man. Yeah, he's crazy. I really believe him when he talks, though. I really believe him when he talks. Well, he talks with a lot of conviction.
Yes, and he actually visited a lot of these like pyramids.
And he kind of gave it away on I don't know if you saw his interview with Flagrant.
Yes.
Okay, so he kind of gave it away a little bit. That he takes people on tours around the world to go check out like his research areas. And I think low key, I think that's how he made. Not how he made his money when he first got up, but that's how he's making his money now, because he says he takes people on tours.
Yes.
To these different places, and I don't know who knows how much he's charging. You know,
it's like
but you're going to Egypt, you're going to Thailand, you're going to these crazy places, so you gotta have money.
He reminds me so much of there's another famous damn dude, Stephen Greer. Okay, this guy does the CE5 events. This is how he makes his bread and butter as well. He takes people to where there's UFO sightings all the time. This is how and it's all over the world. He does the same thing. Stephen Greer does the same thing. But the thing with Stephen Greer that I love about Stephen Greer a lot is that his father worked for the U.S. government. And he was able to get a lot of top security clearances that lets you know, yes, aliens do exist. He has in his possession, which is not declassified yet, and which is why you don't get people to show you a lot of these things, because what's not declassified will get you killed. What's classified, that will really do a number on you. So he's very careful on the steps he takes. He goes and based upon all the CIA files, all the FBI files. For those that want to visit that, there is a CIA FBI vault on their webpage, and it even goes as far as Roswell. And there is proof of bodies that they recovered from Roswell, and he gets into that. He really gets into that. And there's proof of him telling people and showing people the document that, yes, they did recover alien bodies from Roswell. And there was not just one crash, it was 2 crashes. 2 UFOs that were downed at the Roswell, New Mexico site.
And what's crazy about that time period too, that all those records have been destroyed.
Yes, they have, but no, they haven't. In the meaning that Stephen Greer was able to get these copies. You gotta understand that nothing really goes away.
Basically, they're lying to us, right?
Yeah. Okay. Nothing goes away. I can tell you right now, I can shred a piece of paper with your social security? There's so many. If I'm working for the government, am I really gonna shred that shit? No, because I'm gonna run what your bio. I'm gonna run everything that's behind everything. Like I want to know what the hell, right? Who am I dealing with? Like for all I know, the biggest fear is getting shit stolen. But how do you explain the space station up in space? How do you explain
Which one?
The big space station, the United, where everyone is there?
Okay.
The United Nations space station.
I thought you were talking about the moon for a second.
No. That is also another space
yeah.
station, but that is inhabited by aliens, to which Stephen Greer and also
Can you explain to us? Can you explain to us the moon alien base and why we think it's hollow?
well, a lot of people think that it's actually a moon, and then there's the people that think yes, there's a base in there, and it was actually a government experiment which they created the moon and they floated it up there, right? And they think there's like a big light bulb in there that keeps it powered. But I truly and honestly believe that there is an alien space station up there
On the dark side.
on the dark side. And not just on the dark side, but I believe the whole moon itself is hollow inside, which was what Apollo 13, when they went up there, they experienced a lot of that, where they had brief recordings and and all of a sudden they were taken down. Brief recordings.
And you know what? At first I thought that was crazy until I heard the fact that like they've NASA has tapped it, and you know, like when you have like an empty tin can, like it sounded like that.
Yes.
It gave a vibration instead of being like, you know, if you touch the ground or a rock, you're not gonna hear nothing back.
Exactly.
And yeah, I can't explain that. And that's crazy.
No one. I mean, no.
And obviously,
China is the first one right now. Actually, they're building a robotic. They're literally building a robot to explore the dark side of the moon. What are they gonna find?
those got night vision.
To get an eye vision of what's going on in the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, and then obviously, I think we're both a big fan of the Y-Files, no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, the Y-Files, man. I mean,
Go check out the Y-Files. It's fucking amazing.
they're really good. I mean, they have a little bit of everything. Conspiracy theories. They have, everything is there.
That's where I did all my research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, there is so many things out there that you can actually research, man. And people don't research. And the number one thing is our government is hiding shit, right?
Yeah, and
you're good.
not to cut you off, but I think the main thing why people just dismiss it is because they think like, people are gonna make fun of me. Right? Yeah.
Everybody thinks, okay, they're gonna label you as crazy and then make fun of you and then tell you, okay, well, you're just dumb. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the case, man. If someone literally tells you that they saw a UFO, okay, it's like saying here in the valley they saw a Sasquatch. Now that's a little bit.
Yeah, so and I was gonna get to that too. Like there are some stories or conspiracies that like, all right, come on, dude, like you're going too much.
And you're gonna trip the hell out. But on my podcast, I do still have that reel up. The CIA was the first one to investigate the Sasquatch incident, right?
Where though? Which one? Because there's a bunch of Sasquatch sightings.
This doesn't get into specifics as to where they collected the sample.
Oh, okay.
But the CIA, there was an officer that went out in the woods, and it wasn't explained as to where it was in the woods, and the location. Right? Obviously, they don't want you going nowhere near it. So a lot of the documents are really, there's still some of the data that's on there is still blacked out. So you see some things that are readable, and then there's lines that you can't read because they're literally highlighted right off. You can't see it. It's just a black bar on it.
So this is a FOIA request.
Yes.
that they've blacked out.
Exactly. Nothing is super declassified. Everything is still pretty much, to some extent, classified.
Yeah, and then like for those that don't believe, like our government is shady as hell, right? And just as an example, like the John F. Kennedy files, they still haven't released everything.
No.
Even though anybody that would have been involved with that is dead. Everybody.
Including Marilyn Monroe, which is another person that that Kennedy actually exposed to her that aliens exist, and I believe he was getting ready to expose that we do live amongst aliens and we do have alien craft, and they ended up killing him for that. I strongly believe that that's why he was killed.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but we're gonna take a quick break because I gotta pee.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back. All right. Well, what were you saying right now, Chris? Before we went to break.
I believe we were talking about the JFK conspiracy there.
Yes. No, about how he revealed to Marilyn Monroe that there are aliens.
Aliens.
And that's why he was killed.
Both of them.
Both of them. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Let's elaborate on it, man. I mean, look, JFK was really a man of the people, right? And he really believed that all Americans should know, or whoever lives in this country, should know the truth, especially if we have things that we can't explain. And he got a tour of Area 51, and not just a tour of Area 51, but many underground bases where they had biological entities. He was shown this. At the time, if for those that don't know, he was very heavy with Marilyn Monroe, and that was his girlfriend.
And yeah, it's his mistress. Yes.
Is his mistress, right? Well, for those that don't know, Mr. JFK, he liked to get freaky.
Yeah.
You know, he was out there doing threesomes with Marilyn Monroe, and then there was a movie about that shit. You know,
I don't know about that, but yeah.
And pretty much, I guess this secret was too much for him to bear, and he ended up telling Marilyn Monroe. So happens, JFK was assassinated.
Right after.
Right, literally, right after. So Marilyn Monroe got scared and was like, you know what, fuck this. I gotta tell the world. We all think that, and don't quote me on this. This is just my opinion. Obviously, it's my opinion on this. And anyone that doesn't believe, obviously, is entitled to their own opinion.
It's basically facts.
And literally, she didn't overdose.
Yeah, she overdosed.
Someone visited her and her estate and her home. And I believe at that time gave her something to calm down. Because at that time she was, again, remember, she went bonkers, right? She was going ballistic, and after JFK's assassination, she was going ballistic, man.
Yeah.
She didn't know what the fuck to do. So she was distraught. You know, she was just like, shit, well, where do I hide? What the hell? He's big in the government world, and I know half the secrets, or more than half the secrets that he knows. Are they coming after me next? I mean, shit, at that point, you don't think I would be doing heavy drugs like her? Fuck yeah, of course. It's just to drown your thoughts, because you don't want to think about that. But I strongly believe in my mind that
she was
taken out along with JFK because of what they knew. And again, he was preparing to tell the world that yes, we do have alien craft, and he was preparing to show us what these beings and their crafts look like.
Oh, okay.
And again, don't quote me. Don't. You guys don't have to believe. You know, my opinion on it, or my take on it. You know, there could be fact checked.
No fact checking. And just like our logo says on the thing right here, it says 100% not scared. So we'll go with that.
Definitely, man. And I mean, I really do believe, like I said, JFK was taken out because he was gonna tell the truth.
Oh, okay. Of course. I think.
Who killed him? They pinned it on some random guy, right?
Yeah, no, it was definitely the CIA.
Exactly.
Because then this is a true story. He was not a fan of the CIA, and the CIA was trying to make him look like an idiot after the Bay of Pigs.
Who was in charge at those times too of the CIA? George Bush Sr.
Was it? Oh, I don't even know.
He was the head of CIA back in the day when the CIA was first created. And this guy was the head honcho of the CIA. And
hold on, just if I can go back just a little bit, the Bay of Pigs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Bay of Pigs is the attempted assassination of Fidel Castro. That went terribly. Yeah, it was. We look like idiots. Like it was national news. We look like idiots out here.
Literally. I got a whiff of. I didn't get to investigate that part of the Fidel Castro attempted murder. But it was on my list to literally look up because it
attempted murder and a coup of the government.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm yet to go down that rabbit hole.
You should look it up. Like it's very interesting. Like
oh yeah,
it's a real, and that was the name of the operation, Bay of Pigs.
it's like Billy Carson. How much do you, let me ask you a question. How much do you believe in parallel universes?
No, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Like even Neil deGrasse Tyson has said that that's real.
That's another guy too.
Yeah, no, well, he's not. Billy Carson is the cool Neil deGrasse Tyson, in my opinion, because Billy Carson will say whatever the fuck, you know. Neil deGrasse will actually stick to science, and Neil deGrasse Tyson is a legit scientist, and yeah, he says that parallel universes are a real thing. We just can't access them, and they can't access us. But like, do they exist? Very likely.
Very much so. Billy Carson gets in deep into that. He went on a podcast, and I have it on the reel. This was an up and coming I don't even know how they got him to come on, man. This was like an up and coming podcast.
They paid him. At the end of the day, he's a businessman.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey man, just
hey
give me
dude, I got these $15K that are too heavy in my
loan?
pocket. Yeah, way too heavy in my pocket.
I got the government PPP loan, man. What's up?
Exactly.
I got 40,000 and I got 20 to spare. What's up? I'll pay you 20 right now up front. Yeah. You know, but he came on that show and he tripped out this guy, man. You can see it in the interview, man. This guy's like tripping the hell out, man. He's in between believing him and not believe. He's like, his face, man, is just like, what the fuck? What's going on?
I think I know what you're talking about. It's the Concrete podcast, no?
I think yes. And at that time, they were just up and coming when they got him to come on the show, and he was almost one of the first people that they got to come on the show. And he gets deep into parallel universes, and he explains to us how in this moment in time, in another realm, there's another one of us. There's a duplicate of us.
Yeah.
In another time.
Infinite universes.
In an infinite universe.
Yeah.
At this same exact time right now that we're all sitting here, there's another one of us exactly doing the same thing, if not the same thing, almost similar to the same.
Yeah, like and there are also universes where like I'm a homeless dude, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a whatever, you know.
Exactly.
And then there's universes where I don't exist at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's,
I think it's a very interesting thing too.
It's super interesting. I find that super interesting, and the fact that Billy Carson actually told us that there is a lot of parallel universes here on this planet that we just can't tap into. You need to be.
Damn, bro. Sit down if you want. We're in the last 10 minutes right now. Now Omar's got some business to take care of afterwards. But yeah, here. Let's do the last 10 minutes. Cut that little part out, but connect your mic. And because we don't want extra noise.
You didn't tell him?
Nah, I didn't tell him about the extra time because I knew he wasn't gonna make it. I know. All right. All right. So surprise co-host, my brother Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Okay.
I'm Chris. Nice to meet you, man.
No. But I'll say this: like, there's definitely have to be a part 2 because I feel like we just like touched.
Oh yeah, this is just grazing, bro.
Grazed the surface. Grazing. So let's end with this because Omar does have to go. He has very important business to take care of. Tell us your favorite conspiracy and or whatever, you know.
Man,
the one that you know the most details about.
Well, not the most. I mean, there's plenty of most details. I mean,
but what story fascinates you the most?
The one that captivates me the most is the reptilians.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that because I don't know anything about this.
Oh man, okay. Apparently, there is a dark government here that is funded, right? And this dark government that is funded by
lizard people,
by certain people, and they call the reptilian people. They're shapeshifters, right?
Oh shit.
They're also aliens that come from other parts of the world that have inhabited
of the universe, obviously.
Of the universe, and these are the people that supposedly are in power. The people that you see talking, such as President Biden, Barack Obama, all these presidents and all these high-powered people, Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, they're all
lizard people.
Lizard people.
Oh shit.
And a lot of the celebrities, I believe, and I'll just say this.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna expose this. I have a friend that her brother is a very famous rapper. I'm not gonna get into details on what rapper it is. I just don't. I don't want governments or anything like that or anything coming after shit or anything like that. But the big conspiracy of when Gucci Mane or Gucci Man, right?
It's Gucci Mane, yeah.
Gucci Mane. Okay.
I don't know this.
This certain rapper puts on a Gucci Mane suit.
Oh, damn.
I just did a reel of an underground government base that keeps skins of people refrigerated in an underground base. And these are skins of a lot of famous celebrities. A lot of these celebrities, I believe, were replaced by these reptilian people when they no longer want to carry out an agenda. Or carry out their master plan of whatever it is their master plan is, right?
So it's like what Cat Williams says.
Yes. He just did a special called Woke Folk, right?
Okay,
He did a Netflix special called Woke Folk. And he exposes a lot of crap in now. I haven't really fully seen the whole set that he did. I just caught glimpses and parts of it, you know? But his whole thing on the Woke Folk is to let you know that yes, these things do exist. And
but he calls them demons, though.
He calls them demons, right? Yeah. Because we don't know what they are. These are definitely people that I believe that are real people, that are real lizards or humanoids. Again, they are depicted inside the pyramids in Egypt. You get me? They're hieroglyphic. Yeah. They're on there. The lizard people.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
On there. I mean, dude. It was just Billy Carson Billy Carson. He, again, let us know by Admiral Byrd's when he took his fleet of people to Antarctica, they found hieroglyphics under the fucking ice, man.
We didn't even talk about fucking Antarctica.
Yeah. No, I know, right? There's so many things. There's so many things, okay? And Admiral, he's like, why?
No. Like honestly, like the second half has been conspiracies and aliens, but the first half was very, very personal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you didn't miss much, man.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you in 10 seconds. I was dying. End of story.
Yeah. No, but we'll go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, but definitely, Antarctica is. How do you go to Antarctica where it's completely full of ice? And Billy Carson actually got hands on Admiral Byrd's diary through his son. And that diary literally depicts a lot of information of what he saw when he took his fleet under the ice and literally saw a valley of Crystal City Valley with humanoids living under the ice in a full... It looked like freaking Hawaii, like palm trees. It looked like a freaking city, man. And that's depicted in Admiral Byrd's actual diary. Billy Carson just exposed that.
And Admiral Byrd is when did he serve in the early 50s or late 40s?
Man, I think
this is why
40s or 50s, man. But
that's why we went to Richard E. Byrd Middle School.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was based on him. Richard E. Byrd.
And I don't think it was a boat. I think he flew. He flew and he got lost.
No, it wasn't a boat. They got there by boat, but then off that boat, obviously, you have that big military boat.
Yeah, so he flew a plane, got lost in Antarctica, and then where it was all ice and like clouds, eventually he ran into like a valley, and then that's what he saw another civilization. And you know what? Man, that's such a great fucking episode. We're gonna end it right there. Chris, thank you. Obviously, you're gonna come back for part 2.
I will.
We'll talk mad more conspiracies with Brian. This time, like producer Omar, he's got some business. We gotta accommodate all the members of the team. So obviously we're gonna plug your stuff. We're gonna put your Instagram. Where else can the people find you, Chris?
Alien_OG_ podcast, man, on Instagram and also on TikTok, guys.
Yeah, you got a bunch of clips on there.
Check it out, man. You guys, if it's not your interest, it's not your interest. But if you definitely want to know something about aliens or UFOs or unexplained phenomena,
you want to smoke some ganja.
Some ganja on the live. I mean, I do it with my people. They enjoy it all the time. you know, I'm just up and coming, and for the up and coming and the followers that I have, I think each and every one of them, man, you know, that's awesome.
And then Randy, you have any last questions? Yeah, just that. Just ask any alien question.
I mean,
is Independence Day true?
No.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Leave a hate comment. Bye.